10 evergreen clones and affordable fragrances. And by evergreen, I mean fragrances that will always stay relevant as long as they're available to buy. Hi guys, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. It's also time to revisit some slightly older fragrances, clone and affordable fragrances that are so relevant that they will be in high demand as long as they're available to purchase, simply because people like them a lot and are looking for them. And I'm going to start with the brand of Afnan, and I've prepared two fragrances from that brand that I'm featuring in today's video. The first one is one of my most favorite Afnan fragrances, one of my most favorite men's scent profiles in general. The fragrance is called Turathi Blue. It looks like this, and of course this is very heavily inspired by Bulgaria's Tiger. Now, I absolutely love Tiger, not only as a scent, but I love Tiger for the versatility that it offers, for the fact that you can wear that scent profile no matter the time of the year, no matter of the occasion, the time of the day, you know, pretty much all the place. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it to the gym, you can wear it on a date night or a special occasion. It's super versatile, very likable, very masculine, and it's a crowd pleaser as well. It's fresh, it's spicy, it's woody, it's musky with a bit of sweetness. This one feels a little bit sweeter than the original fragrance, but offers really nice quality that I personally have always associated with the brand of Afnan, and also the performance is really good. At least on my bottle, which has been, I've had this one for a few years now. Early bottles used to have really strong performance. I don't know what's the case with the current formulations, but I'm pretty much sure that it's at least above average when it comes to projection. So if you want something done in a similar style, fresh, you know, citrusy, musky, woody, with a bit of sweetness, that's super versatile. I think Turathi Blue is a great fragrance for that type of scenario. The next one is again a fragrance that is very versatile, that it's very masculine, and it's very recognizable. It's called Modest Une, and this one is very heavily inspired by the original Dior Sauvage line from the brand of Dior. I'm talking about Dior Sauvage EDP. This smells somewhere in between those two original fragrances. I know it's a love or hate type of scent. I know that a lot of people love to hate the scent of Dior Sauvage, the OG Dior Sauvage, but the reality is that to this day millions of guys are wearing this scent profile. They're wearing it with confidence, and they're getting great results of wearing that fragrance. And I've always been a huge fan of the original Dior Sauvage since the first day that it was released, and I got the chance to smell it. Modest Une, just like again anything from the brand of Afnan, offers really nice quality, it offers good performance, and it's a great versatile fragrance. This is one of those scents, along for as well as like Turathi Blue, it's one of those scents that even if you only need one fragrance in your life, in your collection, this Modest Une or Turathi Blue can serve that purpose because of the super versatility that both of them offer. Now let's move on to the brand of Lattafa. For today's video I've included again two Lattafas. The first one is probably one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling Lattafa fragrance. That's called Lattafa Khamrah, the original Lattafa Khamrah. Now unfortunately the plate on mine has long ago has fallen off. I tried to glue it back on a couple of times, but you know, it keeps falling off, so at the end of the day I gave up, and I'm just you know, showing the bottle like this. Now this came out I think like 2.5 years ago, and a lot of people initially were wrongly calling this one a clone of Kilian's Angel Share. And although this shares a lot of similarities with Angel Share, this actually is more inspired by a different fragrance which is called Sava from Giza. It's an unisex scent that's very sweet, maybe a hint boozy with a bit of spiciness. It has this very warm, very sweet scent profile that feels a little bit oriental, and this was a huge success, a huge hit for Lattafa, and to this day again probably remains one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling Lattafa fragrance. It's a very likable scent as long as you enjoy, you know, sweet fragrances that have lots of vanilla, that have dates, that maybe have a hint of an apple note, cinnamon, you know, fragrances that work really nice in cold weather. fragrances with good quality, with good performance, and with good versatility in the colder months of the year, in the colder days of the year. I think to this day this remains a very good seller, and it's a fragrance that has pretty high demand on it. And in fact, I'm pretty sure this, out of the all three Khamrah fragrances in this line, this to this day remains one of the most expensive ones out of the three, which only sort of shows how good of a seller this one, how successful of a fragrance this one was and still is. So I think this will be in high demand as long as it's available for purchase. The other Lattafa fragrance that I've included in today's video is called Nashama Caprice. It looks like this, and this one is very heavily inspired by YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electric. Now, the original fragrance was a very interesting flanker to the original YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, and you know, when this came out, there were a lot of rumors that Blue Electric was discontinued. I'm not sure, to be honest, whether that was the case back then, whether it's the case today, whether you can still buy, or whether YSL still produce Blue Electric or not. But this is a great inspiration. This is not an exact clone, but this is a very likable fragrance that will get you smelling pretty close to La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electric. It's woody, has a sort of a creaminess, has a lot of lavender, has some powderness to it, has a bit of sweetness, maybe a hint of spiciness. This one feeling like a more aromatic version of Blue Electric, like having a stronger emphasis on the lavender note than the original fragrance, which creates even more powderness and creaminess compared to the original fragrance. But this is a very nice masculine, sort of a gentle type of scent profile that's really nice. People to this day love both La Nuit de l'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electric, and Nashama Caprice is a great option if you don't want to spend the money on the original fragrances, if you can get them at all at this point in time. This one offers nice quality, it offers better performance than the original Blue Electric because this projects a lot better in my opinion. Total longevity is also, if it's at least on par with the original one, and to this day this can still be found for a very affordable price. The next one that I've included in today's video comes from the brand of Paris Corner, and it's called Rifaaqat. It looks like this, and this was probably the first Middle Eastern clone of YSL Baby Cat. Now, that original fragrance from YSL used to be very popular amongst Middle Eastern clone brands like a year or two ago. Pretty much every big player in the Middle Eastern fragrance realm came up with their own version of of Baby Cat clone. I think Rifaaqat was one of the very first, and to this day remains one of the very best. And although I think Baby Cat has peaked its popularity, it's not as popular as it once was, still it's in a high demand, that scent profile. It leans a little bit more to the feminine side. It's for those of you who really like the note of vanilla, who like heavy vanillic based scents that have a bit of darkness. They have some leather in it, incense, maybe a hint of tobacco and all that. This is a very nice fragrance that smells pretty similar to Baby Cat, offers really good quality and strong performance, especially after some maceration. Rifaaqat, in my experience, has been pretty beastly when it comes to performance. So if you like vanillic based fragrances, if you like Baby Cat, I think this remains a very relevant option to this day, and probably will remain a relevant option. The next one is from the brand of Maison Alhambra, and it's called Cassius. And this one is a straight up clone of one of my most favorite Parfum de Marly scents, which is called Carlisle, the original fragrance. And this one, especially considering how cheap it was at one point in time, this used to cost like 15 euros around here in Europe, less than $20. This gets surprisingly close to the scent of the original fragrance. It has booziness, it has lots of vanilla, but it has some darkness, tobacco, spices, agar oud, maybe a little bit of agar oud in it. Again, this gets surprisingly close to the original fragrance, and I really love Carlisle a lot, and this I think remains very relevant as long as you like that original scent profile. Again, especially considering how cheap this fragrance is, I think it still remains very affordable, super affordable. So if you like Carlisle, if you want something super cheap done in a very similar style with actually good quality and good performance as well to go along with that very low price tag, I think Cassius is relevant to this day and will remain relevant. The next two fragrances that I'm including in today's video come from the brand of French Avenue, and for a change I'm going to show you an actual fresh smelling fragrance, and this one is called Aether. Aether extract. This one, of course, is very heavily inspired by Parfum de Marlis Greenly. And although it's not an exact clone, this smells really nice, and it's for those of you who like green, fruity, fresh-smelling fragrances for the summertime. This has superb quality. It used to be hyped up quite a lot. It's not as old as some of the other fragrances that I'm including in today's video, but because of how likable and again versatile this scent profile is, my guess will be that if this remains on the markets and available to purchase, this will remain relevant for the upcoming years without any problem. It's fruity, there's a green apple note with this one, you'll find a lot of citrusy freshness, you'll find some greenness, you'll find some musks with this one on the dry down, some woodiness. Smelling pretty similar to Greenly, but having a little bit of a fruity, slightly sweeter touch compared to the original fragrance. Offers really nice quality, great versatility, very masculine scent. The only downside of this one is that it has more of an average performance, which is to be expected of a such scent profile, fresh scent profile, but I think it's still good enough even with the slightly lower performance that it has. The next one from French Avenue is called After Effect, and this of course is a clone of Initial's Side Effects, and at one point in time this used to be my most favorite fragrance from the brand of French Avenue. If you like dark, boozy, tobacco-y scents with some spices to them, with some seriousness, some booziness, you know, but this scent is great along with the original one. Of course, the original is superb, and After Effect is actually you know, probably the best performing cologne from the Middle East of a Side Effect that you can get. This one feels maybe a little bit more spicy than the original fragrance, but still you'll get pretty much the same notes that you'll find in the original. Of course, it lacks the quality of Side Effect, but I think for the price tag that especially currently this is being going for, this is an absolutely superb deal as long as you like Side Effect. And again, nice quality, very good quality, and the performance is top notch with this one. And I'm going to finish off with two fragrances from the brand of Armaf. The first one, in a way, smells similar to Modest Une because it's inspired by you know, a similar fragrance, but in this case we're not talking about a straight up clone, we're talking more about a clone with a heavy twist or a clone, a hybrid clone. It's called Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir, and this still smells a lot like Dior Sauvage, but this has a bit of a fruity twist thrown in it. It has a bit of a Creed Ventus touch thrown in it, or you can think of it as having a bit of a Club de Nuit Intense Man touch thrown in here. You'll get a lot of the basic scent profile of Dior Sauvage, but with some fruitiness, with some muskiness as well, and the end combination, the end result of this combination is actually absolutely superb. This to this day remains one of my most favorite fragrances from the brand of Armaf. It was released a couple of years ago, and you know, because it combines two very versatile masculine scent profiles, the end result is maybe even more versatile than those two taken you know, on their own. Nice quality, at least my bottle is great when it comes to performance as well, and again it's one of those scents that if you ever need only one fragrance in your life, this is a real solid candidate for that one. And prices to this day remain very affordable. And the last one that I've included in today's video, again from the brand of Armaf, is called Club de Nuit Iconic, and this is more of a straight up clone. This is a clone of Bleu de Chanel EDP. It's not an exact clone, of course, but this is one of the best Middle Eastern clones, if not the best Middle Eastern clone of Bleu de Chanel EDP. It's woody, it's slightly fresh, there's some spices, some ambers on the dry down, replicates the original fragrance very, very nicely, but offers better performance than the original fragrance. I was wearing this a couple of days ago, and you know, granted, this bottle is a little bit older. I've had it for a couple of years now, but the performance is pretty beastly on this one. 10, 11, 12 hours after I've sprayed it, I could still easily pick up the scent of, you know, of Iconic. I don't know what's the case with current formulations, whether they're as strong as the ones that were initially released, but at least all the bottles used to have pretty beastly performance. Again, they're super versatile scents. This one having a little bit more of a mature factor, but still for a mature gentleman, this can serve as, you know, that one fragrance purpose absolutely superbly. Good quality and super strong performance, and to this day this remains again one of my most favorite Armaf fragrances and will be relevant as long as it's being sold. So guys, in today's video I showed you 10 evergreen clones and affordable fragrances that will remain relevant as long as they're sold. I hope that you found today's video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.